How does knowing your human design unlock your true potential? Discover secrets how you can stop overworking and start overflowing. Welcome back to the Path to Purpose podcast with Dr. Katja Rusanen. In today's episode, we are exploring another inspiring journey, offering expert tips that help you live your purpose. Are you ready to be inspired? I'm super excited to introduce our guest, Kristi H. Sullivan, who is a human design and self-care expert, speaker, and lead author of the best-selling Amazon book, Stop Overworking and Start Overflowing: 25 Ways to Transform Your Life Using Human Design. She hosts a virtual community for spiritually minded females to create better wellness, improve relationships, shift mindsets, and manifest more success, wealth, and freedom to live their best life by design. Kristi teaches workshops and conferences internationally, both in person and virtually, and has been featured on more than 100 podcasts and thousands of events. She also has contributed to 6 anthologies, has been certified yoga instructor for nearly 2 decades, and become a full-time sole professional in 2020 after more than 25 years as marketing and communication executive. So in this interview, we will explore human design with Kristi, so stay tuned. So welcome, Kristi. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for the opportunity to share with your audience. I'm excited too.
And I'm just curious because you did a major change in your life, and I have done that too. I moved from banking to spiritual counseling. So was there a special event that led you to this path?
I think it was a chain of different events. I discovered yoga about 24 years ago, and that really was quite eye-opening to me. It was my first real insight into health and wellness and how I had so much ability within me to change how I felt or um, how my mind and body connected and that spiritual path. And that first happened many years ago. In 2017, about 7 years ago, I discovered human design through someone who was sharing it with a coaching program I was with. And that was also pivotal because I just was so blown away by what happened. And then in 2020, when the world was getting quiet and we were starting to just work online, I had a big shift in my career. And that was when I stepped away from marketing and decided to start pursuing something on my own. So it was really, if you know anything about human design, I was responding to a lot of things that were just happening for me in the moment. And that's what led me to where I am now.
Beautiful. And I love that things sometimes evolve and we find our path and our calling. And now, as you are mentioning the human design, maybe we have some audience who are like, what in the earth is that? So let's get everybody on the same page. So can you share a definition? What is human design?
Yes, definitely. Human design, which may be new for some of your listeners, is a blend of astrology, the chakra system, Kabbalah, I Ching, quantum physics, and takes some really old modalities and ways of noticing energy and how energy exists. For me, I resonated very much with the chakra system. And then it brings them together into a little more complex way of looking at it. So human design is really your specific way that energy operates in your body and in your makeup. And it's sort of like a personality assessment, but goes much deeper. And it is based on your birth date. So it's a little bit, again, like astrology or astrology on steroids, I call it.
Yeah, because there are a lot. I have had my human design chart read as well, and it is very complex and so much valuable information. So, in your opinion, what are the benefits of knowing your human design?
So there is definitely a lot of things that you can uncover, and in human design, since it's complex, I think it takes time. So the first thing that I think it does is start to validate ways that you are. And when I do readings, I'll notice people will say, "Wow, I do feel like I'm that way, or that I'm not doing things this way and he used to." It helps validate who they are at their core. It helps people understand themselves at a deeper level. So if you're looking to really uncover, who am I? What's my purpose at my core? What ways are really good for my health and self-care? There's clues in human design that can even offer, whether you're really built to be taking times and period to rest. And that's really important for energy. And it helps people also understand that if, for example, in their business, if they're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, what might be underlying beneath that. And so it leads you to different answers that you might be searching for.
Mm, love that. And how has knowing your human design influenced you personally? Like, what has been one of the big aha moments that you have received when you've discovered your own human design?
When I discovered it, again, 7 years ago, I was trying to do a side business and really see if that could generate some income for me. And I was operating in a formula that this business really taught me to do, which didn't seem like it was working very fast for me. And I think as a result of learning my human design, I began to understand that if we all follow the same formula, that we're not all necessarily going to end up with the same result. So that was one of the first things. And then when I decided to pursue my own business and become an entrepreneur, I used human design as a tool for helping me follow the steps or the breadcrumbs to discover what really was going to light me up if I did it as a job or my next endeavor. And I came across being a speaker and then an opportunity to be in a book, and these little things, which were really a result of me using human design, led me to now having the business that I have now to help others understand their human design. So it was a tool that kind of woke me up to things, but also helped guided me to the next steps on my path.
And one thing that you mentioned, I just want to highlight here, like finding your way of doing things, because there are so many programs where we often have the calling in our heart. We want to create a meaningful impact in the world and help others, raise awareness, whatever is your calling here. But then we try to follow a certain formula, certain way of doing marketing, for example, and that might or might not work well for you. So can you open a little bit more the door to those? Like, I think there are 5 different types of human design, the general types where you can be, because people might be like, that sounds familiar, or that's so
Yes.
not me. So
Yes, and that's a great place to start if you're new to human design or starting to dive into more of this amazing, tool. It's called the energy type. That's the first place. And when you learn about your energy type, it gives you sort of a category of what your design is. But there's so many aspects that it's beautiful that human design is really much deeper. And just to say that there are 3 billion combinations. So this really is a unique blueprint and way that your energy operates. But when we start with the energy type, you can right away see that not everyone has the same wiring inside. And there are 5 energy types. 2 of them are in a category called the generator types. And what makes this category a generator is that we have what's called the sacral energy center, unlimited, consistent, when we're healthy and rested, energy and life force and vitality that keeps us busy through the day. Generators are the type who like to be busy doing things and productive, and we have our task lists and we like projects to work on. We like building businesses. And this really is for 70% of the audience is really who they are, the energy that operates behind the scenes. There's 30% of the population who don't have that same energy consistently. They can work hard, but for example, if they were in a job 9 to 5 and really, or even longer hours, and they felt really drained, they just felt like they needed breaks throughout the day. Keeping up with the generator types was really taking a toll, maybe on their health and well being. It really shows that not everyone is built the same. And then when you look at the categories of like the generator types, there's such a variety as well beneath that, that some generators need more, perhaps more downtime than others. There's so many aspects when you look into your human design that make you uniquely you. But as you understand it in a way that it's your unique formula of being, and if you can start to align to those ways of being, you will find, as I found, that it feels like things flow a little easier.
Mm.
It is a tool that takes time to understand that and to understand your unique formula. But if you peel back, one piece of information at a time, you can start to really uncover what that unique formula is for yourself.
Wow, that is so fascinating. And it's so true as well. Like, as we talked before this interview, that I'm manifesting generator. I know I have a lot of energy. I do a lot of things. And then I have friends who are very different and they get overwhelmed by just listening to all the things I'm doing. And I'm like, it's okay. We are just built
Yeah.
differently. And that's really the key, honoring you and your way. And you mentioned also the flow, and I know that you have your flow process that helps to understand the human design even more. So can you share more about that? Because I guess there are many people who are overworking and they want to more move to that overflowing. So can you share about that flow process?
Yeah, so I use the word flow as an acronym if you're looking to really use human design on a day-to-day basis. The F stands for find and follow your energy type, as well as two other important elements that are in your chart. And one is called the strategy for that energy type. And then the third is the authority, which is your unique way of making decisions. When you tune into your energy type, your strategy, and your authority, those are three key pieces that will help you start to align more to, again, this unique way of doing things. The L stands for love yourself and your self-care. What we find in human design, there's nothing that's right or wrong that needs to be fixed, but it's really about embracing more of who you are. And self-care is really important because, as I mentioned, for some energy types, you really do need some downtime and rest. For other designs, it might be that you need to be sure that you're moving throughout the day. When you start to really embrace that, self-care is an important part of how your energy can remain healthy and vibrant. That's really important. So love your self-care. And the O stands for overcoming conditioning. What we mean by that in human design is we are brought up in certain ways of doing things. We're taught in school to do things a certain way. We're programmed, whether it's through our family, our lineage, what's around us, and even in the workforce, for example. And when we understand that conditioned states are not necessarily who we are or meant to be doing naturally, we start to understand what really was something we adopted that might not be in alignment with that design that we have.
Mm.
So overcoming that conditioning. The W stands for work in your design on a day-to-day basis, meaning it takes time to start to make different decisions based on your inner guidance. The W also stands for waiting because we tend to take on a lot of things, especially maybe the generator types, for example. We might say yes to too many things and then miss opportunities, or we're saying yes and making decisions that really aren't best for us. And that's where we start to end up getting stuck and feel overwhelmed or burnout even more. And so that W is for working and waiting. So that's what I call my flow acronym.
Wow, that's so wonderful. And I love how it is really finding and discovering yourself. And I guess now some of our listeners may be like curious, what's my type if they don't know yet? So you put together a gift for our community. So can you share a little bit about that gift?
Yes, and there's many places that you can go to online for resources about your design. But I put out and you'll put in the show notes a link to my free website to run your chart, and you'll be able to get that information. And then I'd love to set up a call to see if you like to talk about that further, or to point you to some resources where you can find some more information and start to learn more about who you are at a deeper level.
That is so valuable. And thank you also including that call, because sometimes when you just get the chart, it's like my reaction was, what do all these things mean? Like, give me more information. So I love that there is the opportunity also have a conversation with you to go deeper. And really, this is a wonderful tool as well. So I highly recommend check out that gift, get your chart and book that call, because having information, having support, discovering what works best for you so that you can have that flow in your life. That is such a beautiful, beautiful gift. So thank you so much for that, Kristi. And as we start now wrapping up here, do you have a special message that you'd like to share?
Well, I want to also mention human design is a great complement for other tools that you might be using to explore your life purpose, to explore how to improve your mindset, to explore even improving relationships or building a more strategic, successful business. It can be applied in all sorts of ways. And just, I always highly recommend speaking to somebody. And there's a lot of places now, groups on Facebook, and I have a Facebook group you can come to learn more about human design and share and learn with others. And that's Kristi's Human Design and Self-Care Community on Facebook. So I just really encourage you that you're not alone in this journey. There's others, and more people these days are really hearing about human design. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, thank you for that too. Additional place for people to go and get support. And also, I feel like it's such a gift when you understand your design. At least that was my experience. It was like, okay, like it's okay. This is how I'm built. And then understanding others as well. What you brought forward is understanding relationships. Like maybe you just have different design, so you can have more compassion with others when you get to know these different types and how they operate in the world. So this is super, super valuable tool. So thank you so much, Kristi, for sharing about human design and sharing your valuable insights here with us today. And
Thank you
if
so much.
you found this interview helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I am just sending you lots of light, lots of love. Don't forget to check our previous episodes too.